So, when we were growing up, I remember we used to, anytime you had an injury, you'd rush to go and get what you call a band-aid. A band-aid. So a band-aid is what you call karebeko. Some of these names I don't even know how we came up with them in our languages. So the band-aid, or what the Kikuyus used to call the karembeko, is what you'd use to stop blood flowing, like if you cut your finger or something. So you know what I'm talking about when I talk about the band-aid. The band-aid. Wengi mnaitanga elastoplast na vitu kama hizo. Okay? So that is what I'm calling the band-aid. Sijui elastoplast, aka if you're losing blood or you have an injury or what you call an open skin, you put it to taper or to stop the bleeding. Now, in our today's life, we are using band-aids to try and stop dams or to try and stop bigger open wounds. AKA, we are looking for temporary solutions that cannot last. And I'll give you an example. Nothing like this should happen to anyone watching us. You all know that no matter how well you tie a band-aid, tuseme ni kidole, ufunge hiyo elastoplast, when you went to bed, lazima ingetoka. Like there's no way a band-aid in a can. That is why it's a first aid band. Ni first aid. So inawekwa. Then when you get to hospital, now they can decide whether they need to dress your wound, maybe stitch it, or whatever the fuck they want to do to stop the blood. So if you look at today's world, every day, there's countless violence. Every day. I don't watch the news, but I know what is happening in the world. I don't need to watch the news on the physical. I already pick the vibe. I already know I can smell the shit in the air. I can feel it in the wind. I can tell when the world is angry by just observing the wind and how it's ruffling the trees. Okay? So we are really not talking about the root cause with what is happening in Syria, what is happening in the other countries. I don't even need to mention them for the sake of the algorithm. But you get the drift. So, yesterday, I was driving. I was delivering wine. No, was it yesterday? The day before yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday. So, it was on... When is today? Wednesday. Thursday. Monday. Was I wearing red? Yes, it was on Tuesday. No, it was on Monday. I remember it was Monday. Yeah, I was wearing colors of the moon. So on Monday, I was doing some wine delivery. And I was driving. I found a guy who had passed out on top of a sewer block. Sewer block. Hizi blocks zinakuanga zimetengenezwa na kanju kwa barabara. So this guy, he was out. He had passed out. So he had been drinking. And I think from the way, it was funny because I actually almost like paused to think about it, but then you don't just give everything energy. So he was posed on the block like it was a bed. In my mind, I'm like, yani alifika hapa akaona inakaa kitanda, wacha nilale hapa. So every day, countless people are dying because of what you call substance abuse. But no one is really talking about what you call the root cause of all these problems. And the root cause is that we are not able to regulate our emotional state. You see, things are not as complicated as we want to make them. Things are not as spooky as we make them. Things are pretty easy, to be really honest. When you look at the relationships, how they are falling apart, no matter what kind of relationship they are, the jumbo jumbo, the caboose, all that nonsense, akina size it, all that nonsense. You see, the only reason why these people are breaking up is because they are having what you call different opinions. My opinion doesn't line with your opinion, so it's not relating. So every day we are watching relationships falling apart, but we are not talking about the root cause. And again, what is the root cause? Our inability to regulate our internal states. Because everything starts from the internal before the external. That is why they say, Sokana Musi. They say, everything you need is inside you, is within you. Your emotional state is very important. Your emotional state. Look at the people. Look at the decisions that they make. Your people will make one single decision. Mtu wa dry fry, mtu wa dry fry mazee, mimi siwezi, hii kitu, nimepima na macho, hii nakula hivyo. So what happens? That alters the lives of the people around them, the children, the relationship, and this happens in heartbreaking ways. I remember when, in the community, was it in the community group? No, I think it was on my status, the other number. Remember when I had said, you know how to do like prompts, and I said, what is a dark thing that you live with that you don't want other people to know? And so there was this lady. Of course, when I talk like this, you wouldn't even know who the fuck they are. That is the power of being anonymous. She came to my DM and she told me, you know what? I stay with my husband, but my husband is HIV positive. And I haven't slept with my husband for 2 years because when we discovered that he was HIV positive, that was it. And I said, so if your husband is HIV positive and you're HIV negative, and you're living in the same house, you're sleeping in the same bed, not to be a dick, but how long are you going to keep the pretense going? How long? Because you see, you have not even addressed the fact that one of you brought that thing home. So you're not looking about the root cause. And the root cause is the inability to regulate your emotional state. Because that person made an impulsive decision that is changing your lives. And it's not just changing your life today, it changes your life forever. Forever, because whether there's children involved, it doesn't matter. It's, never say never, never say forever, but for so long as you're staying with that person, that thing has changed a lot of things. Look at what your children are experiencing at home. Your children are raising themselves. On Sunday, we went for our thriving retreat at Leilani. And because we got there early to set up the place, I was there before 10 to set up the place. There's a father who came with his child, 2 children actually, 2 boys. And alikuja, watoto wakaingia kwa sandpit, akatoa simu, akainamisha vertical, and he started watching something. And I was observing him. And in my mind I was like, so why do you even bother? Like, why do you even bother pretending to bring the children to play if you're not going to get actively involved with them? Because that is violence on the child. So every day our children are experiencing unspeakable things in their homes where they're supposed to be a shelter. Who said you can't play? And this is the other thing. And this is the other thing with the men. And this is the other thing I was talking to when we were talking men the other day online. And I said, the inner child that lives inside you never dies. You will never grow up and you will never grow old. What ages is the vessel that you choose. This is what is aging. Your spirit doesn't age. Your spirit is eternal. Okay? So, you may think that you're doing your child a favor by taking them to a park, but if you're not participating, you might as well just don't. So we are not talking at the root cause. The root cause, your father never played with you. Okay? You are Mufasa, you are Scar, your father never played with you. When you watch The Lion King, if you are truly spiritual, you are going to get the message. Simba was sheltered by the father. Simba was told never go beyond those lands. But when Scar sent Simba out there, and Simba was banished or exiled, that is when he found his freedom. Now, everything in the movie is not what it is. Everything represents something. For example, in The Lion King, we are not talking about a lion. We are talking about your solar plexus. The lion represents the 5th house, Leo constellation, which is your solar plexus, which is your phoenix, which is your individuality, which is your rising sun, your sunshine, your star, your zodiac, who you are, your expressions, what you see. So in Lion King, it's an esoteric movie, if you know. So now, go and watch The Lion King and watch The Lion King in the terms of you're not looking at Simba, a lion, you are looking at your solar plexus or your spirit going through life. Because what we are doing is that no one is practicing the pose. No one is really taking the time to look at things for what they really are. I got to breathe. 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 No one is breathing. You need to breathe deep. When you take a deep breath, you create that space between the stimulus and the response. So you are stimulated from the external. So when you breathe, every time you breathe, what do? You are creating space. You are increasing space. When you draw in breath, you are drawing in breath. What happens? Your lungs expand, esoterically speaking. So what are you doing? You are creating space. And you are creating space between the thing that is stimulating you, the stimulus, whatever is making you chill, and your response, how you are going to respond. So you are the creator. Remember, in the beginning, everything was created and was given breath. So when you breathe, what you're doing, you are creating that space. You are creating the space between the stimuli, that thing that is now affecting you. Hi, girls. You can come in. So you are creating the space between the stimulus, that thing that is stimulating you, the external, and the response. And the response is whose response? Your response. How are you going to respond to that situation or circumstance that is making you breathe? Okay? So let's remember that we are the creators, we are not the creation. We are the creators of the external experience. But, yes?
I got a blister on my finger.
What happened to your finger?
We were swinging on that tree.
Mpaka ukapata blister? Let me see.
It's over there.
Kidole gani?
Here.
Hii?
Nasikia hapo.
Oh, unasikia hapo? Sorry about that. High five, Nuri. High five, Sally. Uko poa? Na umegwarwa. Yaani mlikuwa mnapanda miti saa hii?
Mimi nimepanda nikaketi hapo jibla na ketingi. Sasa nikiswing hivi, nikagwarwa kitu kanidunga. Nikinaanza kutoka. Yaani akipeleka chini, monkey bar akagwarwa na yeye.
Ginya Nuri ni uko izete muti. Interesting. Niki maitwareka?
Sana jam.
Oh, for breakfast. I go and help my two make breakfast.
Sisi tumeshakula breakfast.
Maito ametenga breakfast na mkakula?
Yep.
Hata yeye?
Nope. Yeye hajakula.
Na yangu? Okay.
Anatengeneza anatayarisha saa hii.
Oh, I thought you had breakfast with them. It's okay. So,
tunaanza tu kukula saa hii.
Yeah. So you are the creator of what you call your external experiences. So whatever happens outside of you, you are the creator. But that only happens, first of all, once you learn how to master the internal. So, I put it there, my breakfast. Niletewa breakfast kwa gari na Monjiro. Hi Monjiro. The girls wananiambia tu wamekula breakfast, atuendi hujakula breakfast.
Nashakula.
So my breakfast can chill tumalizane na hii. So there are some things people take for granted. For example, unaambiwa ati you need to breathe. Unasikia breathe, breathe, breathe. Breathe, take. No. It's deeper than that. You have to understand why breathing is important. Every time I remind you to give yourself grace. Give yourself grace, aka forgive yourself for the things that you're always doing in survival mode. Now, once you forgive yourself for the things that you have done when you're in survival mode, aka when you are either in fight mode or fright mode. Fight mode is fighting, lashing out back to those people who are causing you that. Flight mode is running away from that situation. And sometimes it's good to get out of situations. But once you forgive yourself for what you do on survival mode, then you need to start building the skills to thrive. Look at yourself like a template. And even your Bible tells you that the stones, you are the cornerstone or something. So we can go deeper into the cornerstone. We can go even into the masons, na vitu kama hizo, but I won't go into that right now. So if you don't start building the skills for you to thrive, now you think thriving is all about getting money and making it in this world. This is shit. This is nothing. If you want to know how fucked up shit is that you take nothing from this. It doesn't matter. You will take nothing from this. But the fact remains, you'll be reincarnated back here or incarnated back here until that time when you have mastered this. Now you can go into what you call your heaven or another atmosphere where you don't need a physical body. This is what they say, you won't need a physical body, but you're not ready for that yet. Some of you may need 1,000 years before now you can be like, you don't need a physical body. Now you can go and become like a cloud, a star or something, or breath or air or something. So this tendency that we have as Africans, first and foremost, where we used elastoplast as solutions for everything, has to stop. You guys need to start doing the work. And it's unfortunate that you have the lazy gene inside you based on the location that you are in. So you want solutions. But when you are given the know-how, or when you are taken to the river and shown how to fish, you don't want to fish. You want someone to fish or give you some GMO fish and then charge you for it. You want the church. You want to go to the church. You are given a story of someone, a whatever, a character that gives you hope. Oh my God, it happened for Jacob. Jacob was wrestling with God. Oh my God, let us pray. Give us money, you go home. In short, you're not building the skills. Everything, you have to learn a skill. For you to be a master at anything, these are skill sets. For you to thrive, you need skills. And shout out to the people who came for the event on Sunday. I've realized actually I haven't even given you a shout out. So shout out to all the people who came for the event on Sunday. Each one. I'm proud of you for expressing your vulnerabilities. Everybody got to speak. Everyone got the mic. Everyone got to open their heart chakra and speak. So when we talk about these things, we do them in practical. Remember the last time we were working on the root chakra. Then I said now we'll be working on the solar chakra. From the solar chakra we'll go to the heart chakra. But I'm throwing in bits like when everyone was speaking at the event, that was opening your heart chakra. So we are warming your heart chakra now before we get to it. So we are going to work on the solar plexus. Then we come to the heart chakra. Now, once you go through the root, the solar plexus, and then we go to your heart chakra. This is going to accelerate your getting out of your trauma responses na vitu kama hizo. Okay, so let me end this because I need to have my tea. You know, you guys, you have had your breakfast, so we have this tendency of pointing fingers at other people, but we never really take the time to look in the mirror at ourselves and ask, what energy do I bring to every situation? You see, some of you, the energies that you have around you, you take them with you. What energy are you taking to every situation? When you look at yourself in the mirror, before you leave the house, what energy will you be taking to every situation? Some of you are always in shit. I was just chatting with someone on WhatsApp. They told me they are back home to their parents because they were in an accident. They needed to go and recover. I said, wait, you're in another accident? Because the last time they were in another accident, they broke both their collarbones. Alipita tao katikati ya matatu mbili za sako. Hii kaenda mbele na hii nyuma. Akafinywa collarbones. Yani, imagine unapita katikati ya minibus town zikiwa parking. Unafinywa hapo katikati, unavunjwa collarbone. She recovered. Now she was in a... mpaka nikamuuliza, wait a minute. What's the deal? Like, what is happening? So this is what I'm talking about. You don't look at the energy you are bringing into this situation. You are not looking. You are busy looking outside instead of looking internal. Like, you have to look. There's no shortcut. This is a new world. There's no shortcut. You have to understand that we will... Anyway, forget about that. As much as we may look different, maybe skin tones, maybe what you call society ladders na kila kitu, we are very much alike. We are actually much more alike than we are different. It doesn't matter where you live or your status of life. We are actually much more alike because you shit like me, you piss like me. Maybe a fact better than you, so hapo hakutakuwa na comparison. But when you look at life, we all want the same things. And the most important thing that we need to learn right now is how to cope with the intense thoughts and feelings that come to us, that bombard us from outside. These body sensations that come with all these intense emotions. That is what we need to learn. You have to learn how to cope with those things. This is why the white people are so ahead of you. The white people take the initiative. They go for therapy. They read books. Africans don't even read books. So when you are reading books, you are learning. These are skill set. I'm not telling you to read books. I'm just giving you examples. That one of the biggest failings you have as Africans is the fact that you don't do any work on yourselves. You have resigned to religion. Jesus take the wheel, and you think that everything is going to work. But when you go outside, that doesn't work. Go inside. Yesterday I was outside. I was looking at my passion fruit. And there's one passion fruit yenye imezaa sana. So imezaa a lot of fruits. And it's really struggling to... juu imepanda mti but inajaribu kuchikilia. So you know how the passion fruit will do its tendrils, and it's a climber. So I was observing it, nikasema, juu kuna mahali mimi na naifunga na kama, nikasema sita kufunga. I want to see you. I want to see nature. I want to see how this is going to turn out when it realizes it has too many fruits and there's nowhere to hold on to, because nimeizoesha vibaya sana kuenda kuifunga saa zote, always supporting the passion fruit. So I said, okay, let me do this. Let me just give it what you call a social experiment and watch the passion fruit. So I haven't observed it for the last maybe like 6 days. So yesterday, I was going to harvest my mushrooms. Nikienda mushroom house. Nikarealize, wait a minute. The passion fruit found its own solution by itself. Ilijishikilia. And what was funny, there's no Wi-Fi there. Tungeenda na simu niwaonyeshe what happened. So, how it had fallen because of the fruits and it couldn't support, you know what it did? Another branch that was closest to that ilitoa tendril ikashikilia hiyo matunda juu imejishikilia. Ni kama sasa umejishikilia mahali alafu ushikilie mwenzako, but it is the same tree. And I was like, wait, look at this. This is amazing. So the passion fruit found its own solution. Juu si kuiweka kamba venye nimezoea kuiweka kamba. So it made itself a priority. So this is the thing. We as humans, we don't prioritize ourselves, our emotional being, our self. We don't look in the mirror. We don't make it our priority to heal ourselves, to thrive. We are always looking for a savior outside of us, a friend, a government, a system. And right now, the conversations we should be having, especially with these children, because the Gen Z are not even going to have children, because they are not even ready for the children. Because the Gen Z is trying to learn how to become calm. What the Gen Z are learning, because there's no one, these conversations have not been there. So the Gen Z is trying to learn as a generation how to become calm. Ndio maana unaona na crocs. They just want to become fast. The world is so chaotic. They look at the parents hapa huko kule, hey, beba. So the Gen Z are like, wait a minute, fuck this world. I'm going to become. Ujavaa kiatu hapana, mimi niko poa, niko na crocs. They are becoming responders, but the Gen Z are responding to themselves. Ndio maana akipigiwa kelele kazini anasema usinipigie kelele, I can quit. And we have to learn from the Gen Z. Pluto Sagittarius. Sagittarius is spirituality. Sagittarius is all that. So let's all make it a priority to teach these next generations that are coming to become responders. But not responders to external stimuli, but responders to internal stimuli first. When you get all these intense, sometimes you wake up and you just hate yourself. I know. Been there, done that. I'm growing my wings now. I've been falling here before. There are sometimes when you criticize yourself for no reason, so catch yourself. When you find yourself criticizing yourself, jiangalie, wait a minute, I'm not that. Why am I criticizing myself? Why am I self-hating? Then you are going to realize it's the surroundings. This is the world we have been raised in. We don't know how to self-regulate. So the first thing we do is bash our own selves up. We beat our own selves up. Unaenda kwa kina sema, hey, niguogorete. No, ujazeeka. You are not. You look at your skin, oh my God, look at my skin. No, that is all external. You are beautiful inside. And you are amazing. Inside. And sometimes we fuck up. We make mistakes. But the best thing is to dust yourself up and do it again. Okay? Some of us will go out there. You're like, okay, I need to do this and this. You make a bad financial decision. But remember, don't beat yourself up. You are doing it. And kama ingekuwa successful, ungekuwa na smile all the way right now. But if you do it and you get banned or you get lessons, remember those are still lessons that you need to go through. You need to understand that you are still trusting too quick. This was this demonic, And for example, a lot of the things that I approach in life, I approach everything from a clean state. I always come with a clean heart to any experience because I'm working on my heart chakra. I'm working on myself. But every day I'm reminded by the people that I deal with that, wait, that's not how people are thinking. You know, I'm dealing with people and I'm like, but you have children. Like, why are you so cutthroat? Because there are some things, once you, that is why they say, to whom much is given, much is required. Then I realized, kumbe watu ni wale wale. Like, people are still like demonic. Like, so where's my tribe? Where is the people that I can work with? Because that world is still there. I know for a fact, it's not even about believing. I know for a fact there are good people out there. There are people you can approach them na wakupea kazi. Roho safi. Akwambia, wait, kuna hii tenda iko hapa by the way. I've been watching you whatever you have been doing. Wacha nikupe hii tenda, usupply hapa, upate pesa, man. I know you are, there are those good people. So I ask myself, where are these good people? Like, why does everything have to be so difficult? Then I realized it's on purpose. That even things that are supposed to move smoothly, you still have to make them hard. Hata kitu ingeenda too smooth, you feel like it's too easy. I have to fuck it up. I have to make it hard. And that's why now you know you're in the wrong world. Wrong world, not in the wrong world physically, but you're in the wrong crowd. And this is even why I insist so much on creating communities where we can know as a soul group, what we don't even have to meet, but we know there are people who are like-minded out there, because there's enough for everyone. There's too much. There's actually, this world is a world of abundance. It's earth. It's green. What is green? Green is nurturing. Green is shelter, Safaricom. So we're already in a green planet, meaning there's enough for everyone when it comes to resources. There is greed, but there's enough for everyone. So my question is, where is my tribe? So when I talk of building communities, why don't we have communities where we can also thrive? These people have been thriving on the other side by themselves through greed. When is it ever enough? Why do you need 200 cars? Why? Why don't you just have one supercar or 2 or 3 or 4? Why do you need 50,000 acres of land? Why people don't have land? It's occupying space. There's greed. And greed is one of the 7 deadly sins. One day we'll go deeper into greed. Esoterically speaking, define what greed is. One day we'll do a whole, that's like 2 or 3 videos on what greed is. Because there's greed, there's envy, there's, I don't feel like jumping into it right now. So, you don't have to create a community with me. You can create your own community. But for you to learn how to create a community, you have to heal first. You have to work on yourself first, so that now the people around you can do the same. We still have the moon in Aries. The moon will be going home, my home, Taurus. On Friday, one of my grandfathers died. The remaining grandfather, that is the grandfather that I was named, his brother, the only remaining brother. He passed on Saturday. So I went to my grandfather's home for the first time on Monday. Sabu sijai kuwa invited, so we don't have that culture in our family. Now, they have decided that my grandfather will be buried on Friday. But Friday will be Friday the 13th. So me, I can't tell them. Si unajua sa ukienda pale, si unajua ni Wakristo. Si unajua walisoma sana. So my grandfather will be ready to rest on Friday the 13th. So it's not a coincidence that they picked that day to bury him. Sababu wao wajui, lakini mimi najua. On the same day, Friday the 13th, kuna watu invite. I take them to their grandfathers, their father's grave. So there's someone who traveled from abroad. So they are usually not in the country a lot. Akaniambia on Friday, I'd like you to take me to my father's grave to lay flowers na vitu kama hizo. Again, I haven't even told them. They choose Friday the 13th. Hata wajui kwa nini. Lakini sikuwamwambia itakuwa Friday the 13th. Me, I just kept quiet. So, wait. Najua naweza kuwa naongea vitu sijui. Najua maybe, unajua when I go to bed, some things just happen on the other side. Nafikiria pengine ni reality. Wait, will Friday be the 13th? Najua naweza kuwa na assume. Nimeamka leo ati itakuwa the 13th. Will Friday be the 13th? Today is Wednesday, 11. Tomorrow is Thursday, 12. Yeah, it will be Friday the 13th. I knew I was right. My dream said I knew I was right. So akaniambia pia nimpeleke kwa grave site ya babake on Friday. Maybe they feel like they need closure and everything. Why am I telling you this? Now, Friday the 13th, that is Tuesday, today, tomorrow is 12. Friday the 13th, the moon will be in Taurus. The moon will be in Taurus. My home. So the moon will be home. And Taurus is I have. Okay? Taurus is I have. So my grandfather is going to be laid to rest Friday the 13th with the moon in Taurus. I have. This girl wants me to take her to go and see her father's graveyard. Also wants us to go on Friday the 13th when my moon will be in Taurus. My moon will be home. So, I have a question for you. And I want to see, let me see who's watching. Let me know, come on in my tribe. Watching, let me see who's watching. There are some things you don't see when you have too many people watching who are like new into the channel. Okay. I have a question for you. Now let me turn this around. Okay? Let me turn it around. Assuming it's a story. We are having a story. Okay? Assuming that on the same Friday where I have two options. One, go and bury my grandfather. It's an option. I don't have to go. Two, take that lady to go and see her dad's grave. The lady who has traveled back to the country. So, and three, let's say for let's go in another scenario. Let's say on the same date, which is Friday, someone is like, wait, can I see you on Friday? Can we go and have a good time? Can we go and have some lunch? Or can we just go and chill in the park? Or would you like some massage? Maybe go to a massage parlor and get some massage or something. You get what I'm saying? So I'm talking of pleasure versus despair. Remember, Friday is ruled by Venus. It's all about love and appreciation of vitu kama hizo. You're following the story? So, okay, let me break it down for you because you're already demonic. Let me not even sugarcoat it. Let's say on Friday, my grandfather is being ready to rest. On the same day, there's this lady who said, come, twende tuangalie, nipeleke niangalie kaburi ya babangu. I've not been in the country for so long. The moon is home in Taurus. The moon has been in Taurus, is exalted in Taurus. And again, on the same Friday is ruled by Venus. Let's say on the same Friday, I'm getting some pussy. You know what I'm saying? So, if it were you, based on what you call morality and everything, what do you think would be the best thing to do? Now, I asked you a question, so I want to see your reactions. Now, I want to see you type it in there. Nataka kuona ni swali nimeuliza. Booty call or a funeral? So the funeral can be home, mtu wa family, or not even home, but it's still a funeral. Naona there's a bee dying kwa dashboard ya gari yangu hapa. I don't know why. So I'm trying to figure out why I would see a bee struggling right now. Because everything is communication for me. Kama Nyambura angekuwa karibu angeipea maji, sugar water for it to recover. So that's the question. So funeral or go get some pussy? I'm not saying that's the scenario. There's a reason why I'm asking this question. Though that can also be a scenario. So, should you go to a funeral or should you go get some pussy? That is the question I'm asking you. And remember, Mars is in retrograde in Leo. Now, ask a question. Now, there's a reason why I'm asking this question. I want to go deep. There's something I want to speak about here. Choose what will make you happy. That's a very good answer. Funeral, if it is of a relative. When you read the Bible talks about let the dead bury their dead. This one is saying you go to a funeral since if it's a relative. The other one is saying choose what will make you happy. Funeral, later called the babe. Now I want some more people to add on to that. So there's a funeral, family people, or is that even a matter? And there's some good dick right here. So what do you choose? Dick or funeral? Pussy or funeral? That's what I'm asking. I want more people to jump in on it so that now we can go deep. I keep telling you, in on it directly, we should be having these conversations. Wanja like the live. Mimi says funeral. So we have how many people for a funeral? We have Mimi says funeral. Wanjiko says funeral. Then get the dick. Wamboi says choose what will make you happy. Karege said funeral. So ask yourself, why do you have so many people choosing funeral? The question is, pussy or funeral? The question is, dick, some good dick, or the funeral? Which one comes first for you? go get some. So, come on. There's a reason why I'm asking this. I need more people in this. I need more people madding into this so that we can now jump into the let me see. Kama kuna mtu mwingine ameongea kitu ingine. No comment. Okay. Nobody is adding on to that. Nipande huku juu hakuna comment. So yeah, actually ni comments hakuna, si ati zimeenda juu. Okay. Funeral. So given the chance, most of you'd rather go where there is misery. You'd rather go where there is pain, loss, than go where there is birth, pleasure, oxytocin. So you'd rather go where there is crumbs. Okay, let me make it easier. Let me even make it easier now, It's getting too hot. Let me make it even easier. Would you rather have cuddling? Would you rather be cuddling, cuddles? Or would you rather be having menstrual cramps? Or cramps kwa hospitali ukiza? Because this is the same thing. It's just that you don't know how to look at things. So the people who are choosing funeral, ni kama unasema, you'd rather be having menstrual cramps, whether ni mild or strong, or baby cramps, ni kuzaa, the pain of giving birth, than cuddling. That is what you are saying. So now, this is all related to your hormones. This is how you know how hormonally imbalanced you are as a population. Oxytocin is a hormone inside you, just like testosterone, just like adrenaline, na hizo zote. So you have what you call your pineal gland and your pituitary glands. Then you have what produces oxytocin, before I confuse the fuck out of you. Where is oxytocin produced? I want to show you like how people are programmed into this world to not to self-regulate. Where is oxytocin produced in the body? Which gland? So the hypothalamus, exactly, the hypothalamus. So this aspect regulates the male and female productive systems, including labor, delivery, and lactation, as well as aspects of human behavior. So your hypothalamus makes oxytocin, but your posterior pituitary gland stores and releases it into your bloodstream. Why am I getting an AI overview? I don't want. So oxytocin inatumikanga wakati wa childbirth. It is what is sent to the uterus to contract, to bring labor process. It is also what is used in lactation. Mama akitaka kunyonyesha ni oxytocin. It is what is used in bonding. So oxytocin influences the bond between a parent and a baby. It is also what is used in sperm movement. It is also stress. Oxytocin levels are high during stressful situations, such as social isolation or unhappy relationships. Now, umeenda burial, umeenda mazishi. So, ukienda mazishi, what hormones are you going to produce? Oxytocin, stress hormones. Then zafanyanga upate cramps na labors. You see, most of you don't even know that most of you mashida zenye mko nazo za periods mnatoa mazishi. You are so used to attending mazishi aiwahusu. So your body produces oxytocin And since you are not in labor, juu siku za unazaa, those cramps are not going to go into labor siku za unazaa. What happens? You get cramps. Okay? That's beside the topic. Hapo si hapo nilikuwa nimekujia. So this is what you do. Instead of going to the funeral, go where you are celebrated. Yes?
Can you please give me a lighter? Because we are cooking something.
You are cooking something?
Yeah.
You have run out of matches?
Yeah.
Sina matchbox. I don't think I have a matchbox. And you know, I cannot stay without fire. I am a man, I need fire.
Okay, thank you.
So go where you are celebrated. Ignore the funeral. Ignore where there's pain and gnashing of teeth. Go where there will be joy and happiness. That is the choice you make. If you are to throw what you call morality to the side. Now, this also depends on how you feel about the person who has moved on. Is this someone who was impacting you? Is this someone who impacted your life? For example, I'll give you an example. My grandfather ain't worth shit to me. I never went to his house. Sikuwahi toka nimemjua. Sikuwahi msalimia hivi ni juu ni babu yangu. So he's a non-issue to me. So of course, sitaenda mazishi. Okay? Because there's no bonding there. Sitaenda ndio nifurahisha familia yake. Sitaenda ndio watoto wake wanione ati amekuja kuzika babu yake. We had no relation. He had relationships with his sons. Leo nitaenda. I'll go join them because they are, quote in quote, we are related, relatives, related, quote in quote. But mazishi sitaenda. You get what I'm saying? So when you are making decisions, go with your emotional state. Regulate your emotional. Don't go where, but now you'll be uko kwa mazishi, you are thinking, man, leo ningekulwa. You know that dick, now I'm missing that dick. But here I am in a funeral. Niara my God to thee. Unasikia mtu ameanza kule, monyitero sioni yako kwa ilimani ya lele. Woi, mamito. No, don't do that on yourself. Don't do that on yourself. We are in a new world. The most important thing right now is you. Your state of mind, your emotional state, and you have to start regulating your own emotions, not for the world, not for other people, but yourself. So go with your feelings, how you feel, but when it comes to dick versus funeral, go for dick. When it comes to funeral versus pussy, go for pussy. And I'm using pussy and dick as examples. You can do other pleasurable things. You can go cutting, but I'm just using the basic ones where it's like, you know, I mean, we are all in our animalistic state, so that becomes the main thing because those are our lower natures. Our lower animalistic natures is all concerned with the root chakras, our desires, our dick and pussy area. You get what I'm going with this? You have to make it clear, though, to the people why you are not going to go. Someone is talking about balancing both. That you can go to the event, and after the event, you can go and have sex. Now, you can balance the two, as you're saying, but you are not there yet. Death and a funeral. You are not there. You are not yet a funeral and a wedding. You are not there in that part of a funeral and a wedding. Those are two different things again. One is loss. The other one is giving birth. When you're having sex, you are giving birth to something. It doesn't have to be a baby. You are, whether you know it, whether you're absent or you don't care, you are giving birth to something because it's a joining of two energies to create another. Sasa, let me go and enjoy my breakfast now. Umesikia helicopter imepita. Every time you're on higher thoughts, lazima ndege ipite confirm. That was a higher thought. Shout out to my Mercury in Aries. My Mercury is in Aries, the crown chakra, the first house. When I communicate, lazima Aries ikuje, the first house. Inikumbushe yawe. Like, that was a point. You know what I'm saying? It may not resonate with you because maybe you are not ready. But for the people who really know what I'm talking about, they know what the fuck I'm talking about. Shout out to Friday the 13th. Moon will be in my home. Taurus. Taurus is I have. Sagittarius is I see. It doesn't go no further than that. So do have a beautiful Odin's Day, Wednesday. Let me enjoy my breakfast. For those of you who are ordering wine, do it in advance, kwa sababu kesho ni holiday. The holidays are here. Watu wameanza kusema wawekewe pombe, wawekewe wine, and I have to know in advance. Siwezi uanze kuitisha last minute. Oh, I want to order 2 bottles of wine. Nataka 1 bottle of wine, and then it will be too late, and then uanze kusema sikukuuzia wine. No, place your order in advance. Okay? So that we can have the boilers rolling full steam. Ni sawa? Do have a beautiful day.